Today, we are going to be talking about the one thing that you can do in your business to ramp up your business profits. Coming up. Welcome back to the We Live Marketing Show. I am 𝐶𝐞𝐭'𝐬.
And this is Eddie San. What's going on, peeps?
What's going on? How you doing today, Eddie?
Doing great, man. Doing awesome. How about you?
I am doing fantastic right now. Been a little under the weather the past couple of days, but you know, things happen.
And down in the neck of your woods, what was it, like minus degrees?
Yeah, I mean it's traditionally like, you know, -5, something like that. Not a whole lot.
It's just like that. Yeah. It's okay.
I go out in a t-shirt and shorts and go get the mail and stuff. And,
yeah, just another day.
It's a completely different type of cold than it is down there. You know, down in Florida, dude, that is a wet cold. It could be like, you know, 50 degrees, 55 degrees, and you're like jacket on, teeth chattering. You know, here it's like, you know, -5, -10, and like I'll put a light jacket on, you know. And that's about it, you know.
That's about it.
I'll be out in my flip-flops and, you know, no problem. No
problem.
So, yeah, there's a woman that looked at me funny the other day. I had to go inside my daughter's school for a like a parent-teacher conference, and she looked at me weird because I wasn't in a jacket, and like I was in shorts and a t-shirt and my flip-flops. and you know, my wife's, you know, she's got a jacket on and, you know, a scarf, long pants and everything, and she's like, you know, but it doesn't bother me. It's a completely different type of cold.
All right, man.
Anyway, so what are we talking about today, man? What are we talking about?
Hey, dude, I love it. This is that one thing, man. That one thing. I love anything that deals with one thing that I can take and implement. I'm all for that.
Yeah. What is that one thing? What's going to be the one thing that we're going to talk about today?
Automation, baby. Automation. Everything. Okay. Let me start with this. So I knew we were going to talk about this, right? And the first thing it brought to my mind about automation was Iron Man. Come on. So I was like, dude, so I went in and looked up some YouTube videos. That dude is automating everything. All right. Everything.
You have Jarvis do this, Jarvis do that.
Absolutely. And not only that, it's like, especially even when he goes and walks to that place where he starts putting all his armor on and the robot is automated, right? Everything is automated.
Yep. Yeah. He's not on there like putting his glove on.
No, that was the startup. But then he figured out, man, why do I have to do this? And eventually, right, the parts fly to him. And eventually, it's just one little thing that he carries. I mean, so anyway, automation, automate everything. That's
now it's like in a watch or something. You just
That's
it on it. It's like
it's like amazing, right? So this is a topic that it's really exciting because. Absolutely. Automation for me continually makes my life a little bit easier because, you know, it's not only about what we were saying before, and we'll talk about that in a moment about email marketing and automating that, but really it's more than that. You know, it comes to the point where even doing the social media stuff, you can automate that stuff, and there's softwares and tools to do that. But yeah, man, let's talk into the automation. Let's do the foundation, right? Let's talk about what it really means and what do people need to know about this, you know?
All right. Well, I mean, I think first off, you were kind of talking about it, but you know, the first thing is automation is not, you know, when we're talking about business and marketing, we're not talking about just email marketing automation, like automating your sequences and stuff like that. All right. That's a very, very small portion of what automation is. But unfortunately, most marketers, that's either all they know about or it's all that they implement, right?
Right.
You know, they may implement 1, 2, 3 different things, you know, maybe segmentation or, you know, customization of emails or the actual sequence itself, but that's pretty much it. That's all they automate. And for me, I try to automate absolutely everything. I always say automate everything that you possibly can. That way it gets it out of your way. Like I automate 125 things in my life. That's business and
awesome.
personal.
That's
right.
awesome.
So business, I automate 46 things, 46 different things I automate in my business, and 79 in my personal life.
Nice.
And, for me, I find that, I look for repetition.
Yeah.
Anything that you can do, or that comes up more than once or twice, that is going to come up again, you need to automate it. You need to find a way to automate it.
Right.
And so that's what I've done for years. That's the only reason that I automate so much is because I've been doing it for a very long time, and I know what can and cannot be automated. And, so, if something new comes up and I can automate it, you best believe that's exactly what I do. But
so let's talk the email, because I think that's a good starting point.
Yeah.
That is, you're right. You're right. When I first started, back in, what was it? 2008 is when I heard about email marketing. And then later on through the years, I started hearing, well, you can automate the emails to go automatically at a certain day. And then just recently, it's been how long? 2 years since we met now, or something like that? I can't remember now.
A year and a half or something.
A year? Oh my goodness. I feel like I've known you for like 10 years or something. But
I know.
so when we first met, right, I started learning the process of tags, or the importance of that, which is what you just talked about. You mentioned that the segmentation type, that's part of it. And that transforms everything as well. And so with email marketing, for example, even the email sequence, that's automation as well.
Yep.
So what would you, let's talk a little bit about that. Like, what do you do? What are your best practices, for making email work automatically for you, no matter what you're doing and no matter where you are in your life?
Well, I think it kind of comes down to, what do you want to accomplish? That's a big thing. A lot of people, they don't segment their lists at all.
Mm-hmm.
And, everybody gets the exact same emails. And you may automate the process of, delivering those emails. You're just putting them into an autoresponder sequence, but that's about as far as it goes. Whereas I try to figure out, what do I want to accomplish with this person? And I try to ask myself all these different questions that they might have, and, and stuff that they might do. So, people that first come onto my list, every single opt-in form that I have a way to segment them. And, it's just a drop-down menu, and it asks them, just choose one that suits you. For marketing, are you new to marketing? Or, have you been marketing for a while, but maybe you're not profitable? Or maybe you are, profitable, but you want to take it to the next level, something like that. And, that helps me automate at a later stage, because they segment themselves. And for me, I like when they segment themselves. I don't want to have to guesstimate, is this person a beginner, or have they been marketing? No, let me get them to do that process for me. Again, it's another level of automation. Let them do it. So I don't have to. And then once they opt in, let's say they go to a quote unquote tripwire offer. I don't call it that, but that's another session. But since everybody knows what a tripwire offer is, let's just say that they go to that tripwire offer and they visit the page, but they bounce. They don't, go to it. Well, I have automation set up that'll trigger certain other emails that will try to get them to go back there to end up purchasing the product. Right. And then I have a completely different set of emails
Mhm.
that, for people that get to that page and
Yeah.
then go to the cart page
Mhm.
and then don't end up buying. That'll trigger a whole other set of emails, a whole
Yeah.
other set of responses. That'll put
Yeah.
them into another Facebook retargeting campaign,
Right.
all on its own.
Right.
Send them different emails, but it also tags them in certain ways that I know what type of person this is. So
Mhm.
it'll start also scoring them.
Mhm.
That lead scoring. I utilize lead scoring, and so it tags them in certain ways and scores them in certain ways so that I know exactly how to deal with them. But it all comes back to planning it out.
Find it
What
out.
do you want to happen?
Right.
Where do you want it to happen at?
Mhm. Mhm.
If you uh, want to send people emails and you want to customize those emails, well, you have to do it in a certain way that's based off of your planning stage.
Right.
Do you want to talk to them super, super individually, so that they know that they are a beginner? Like
Yeah.
I have some emails that it'll say in one part, I understand that you're new to marketing, blah, 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 blah. Right. And then for the person that's, really good at marketing, they're profitable. It'll say, I know that you're profitable at marketing, but you want to see, greater results, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah. Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's all
Mhm.
because I planned it out,
Right.
and
Right.
it may take you some time to
Yep.
plan it and figure all the little details out, but it can
Yep.
be done. And then the automation process is actually really simple,
Yeah.
especially if you go with something like Kartra.
Yeah.
We both utilize Kartra, and
Yeah.
we've both used every single thing under the sun, Infusionsoft and
Yep.
ClickFunnels and
Yep.
WordPress and all these different platforms.
Yep.
But for me personally, Kartra is amazing, and you can automate all these different things
Mhm.
in Kartra. And in fact,
Yeah.
there's an entire section of just automation.
Automation. That's right.
And
That's
it's
right.
brilliant. And I definitely think that everybody should be utilizing it and dissecting the entire customer journey.
Mhm. Mhm.
Most people, they think in our last session we talked about funnel hackers, and
Yep.
they're only thinking about that front end
That's
funnel,
right.
not
Mhm.
the long term. And when
Mhm.
you start thinking long term, you can plan out the entire customer journey,
Mhm.
plan
Mhm.
out every little detail of what they do, where they're going,
Mhm.
and you know it's all based off of their behavior, what they're doing, what they're
Right.
clicking on, what
Right.
they're the emails that they open up.
Right.
um,
Right.
and it just for me, I think that's one of the reasons why I've done so well with my email marketing, is because I plan everything out. Like, I'm
Yeah.
a stickler for it. and
Yeah.
and I will sit down sometimes for weeks, not do anything else except plan out this entire journey
Yeah.
of the customer. And you know it.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
And
seen it.
I mean, I will go through and, did they open up this email? No, they didn't open it. Well, I'm going to send them this one instead.
Yeah.
And oh, they didn't open up this one. Oh, I'll send them this one. And if they did, okay, now we'll go to the next one. Like, I've done
Yeah.
so much,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah.
But that it all comes from planning, that
So
foundation.
that is true. So the planning, it's another form of reverse engineering, right? Because
Correct.
you're
Yep.
going to take a look at what your ultimate goal is, and it doesn't have to be perfect either, right? So
No,
you're going to change or even add to what you thought you had,
of course.
but
It,
you
it- you
still
know, there
have.
have been times, let me interrupt you real quick. There have been times I have completely destroyed my existing systems
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I went, oh, I'm so stupid. And I figured something out, some really big aha thing. And then I
Mm,
have to go right back to the drawing board, completely
yeah.
scrap everything that I've done thus
Man.
far, and completely re-implement an entirely new way of doing stuff.
Wow.
I'm sure that there's people out there that aren't me that, would never make those mistakes.
Well, you know what though, that it happened to me also, but it happened by accident. I totally lost my files on my Mac. I don't know what key thing I pressed, but because of that, it got me to create, because I had all my ebooks and all that stuff. It got me to create a better ebook, a better system because of that incident. So, you know, if you intentionally redid everything again, it came out better. I'm sure it came out way better.
I like to think so anyway.
So automation. Okay. So two things that you mentioned: the segmentation, which we'll use culture for example. That's the automation part. That's the piece that they have. You can tell it whatever you want. You mentioned one. You know, if they clicked in the link, right? So are they gonna get this email or that email, or the point system you mentioned as well, which is something that I learned from you actually. I didn't know that, but how to keep points, like if they open so many emails and you know that's a point or whatever, and let's say if they don't open an email, then you know they're out.
Yeah. I mean, you know, my lead scoring system, the way that I have it is, you know, it tracks all their opens and their engagement in general. You know, I like to track all my engagement, and if they receive negative points, and you know, there's 30, 60, 90 to you know, coincide with 30 days of no engagement, 60 days of no engagement, 90 days of no engagement. And what I've actually done, like I would at 90 days, I would completely delete them from my database, right? But now I actually delete them at 60 days. No one can even make it to 90 anymore. At 60 days, if you are not engaged, if you're not opening emails, if you're not clicking on links, there's no point in having you on my list. So, you know, at 30 days, it's going to try a re-engagement campaign. It'll trigger you into a re-engagement campaign all on its own. I don't have to go there and press it because it's completely automated. And, you know, if you don't open those emails at any of them, and there's, how many are in it? I believe that there's 10 different emails in that particular sequence. If you don't open any of those in a certain amount of time, after the last email, it gives you 10 days. And if, you know, so that's like, you know, 50 days at that point, then it'll purge you out of the system. And, you know, if you've opened one of those, and again, it just brings you right back to, you know, net zero. And then you can start building up points from there. But yeah, I love, you know, engagement tracking and lead scoring. And then, you know, I gamify the system as well. You know, and, you know, gamification is something fairly new to me. Like, you know, I've known about gamification for years, but it's something that I've only recently started to implement. And I've gamified the system so that if you get a certain amount of points, right? Let's just, you know, hypothetically say 100, because I don't remember what it is. Then you get a free consultation with me, right? And, you know, if you get, you know, another certain amount of points, a greater certain amount of points, then maybe I'll give you like a $500, you know, credit, or $1,000 credit to one of my courses, you know, or something, because, you know, I only want the people that are engaged. So the more that you engage with me, the more points you're going to have. And the more stuff you're going to get. Plain and simple. I like gamification.
That's really cool. You know, and with our technology nowadays, it makes it so much simpler to do. It's just knowing, like you said, it's just knowing what you want. But so okay, so we got email. And I think, again, having the plan, using the right tool, really, you know, so like Kartra, tagging, automation, and knowing what you want out of the whole system. But there's also more automation to be done in other areas. Because you even mentioned your personal automation, but even in business itself. So what's another one that you think it's beneficial for all of us to know?
Social automation. You know, I know loads of people that are going out every day and they are posting their own tweets, posting their own Instagram pictures, posting their own, you know, this and that. And to me, that's foolish. You
Yeah.
know, I like to batch things, and
Mhm.
I'm a big believer in batching. And like what I'll do is I might get 30 or 40 different posts together, put them into a software, Buffer or Hootsuite or something like that,
Mhm.
or Meet Edgar. I don't know if anybody knows that one.
Mhm.
I'll post links below. And what they do is you can put it all in and schedule everything,
Schedule it. Right.
so that you don't have to worry about it. It just automatically goes off and does its own thing. And then
Right.
like with Meet Edgar, you can do all that, but it'll look at timing and this and that. And something that maybe you posted like 2 months ago, like a link to a blog post, it'll post again for you.
Mhm.
Like you don't even need to do anything. It
Mhm.
just automatically
Mhm.
does it.
That's
you know
cool. That's
and
cool.
that's really awesome. And
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
I believe if you're going to do social media marketing,
Mhm.
that you need to automate a lot of the process, and if you could even delegate the process to someone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
uh, but automate as much as you can, because
Yeah.
it's something that you have to do over and over and over again. And if you
Right.
can just do it once, set it
Mhm.
up for a month, then for that entire month, you don't need to think about it. You don't
Right.
need to do
Right.
anything. You
Yep.
go about and do the stuff that you really need to do, that is
Mhm.
really going to make you money,
Right. Right.
and not have to worry.
Yeah.
So
No, that's a good point. I get sometimes the question, you probably get this question too. Sometimes some people will say, well, how come you haven't answered? Like they'll send me a post message or something after a few days after they see a video, or maybe a post or a picture. But how come you don't, I sent you this or I sent you that. So in a way, they're thinking that I'm always on Facebook,
yeah.
right? But no, that is not how it works. I may send something like, as a matter of fact, I took a lot of pictures this past weekend. My wife and I, we were just celebrating our anniversary, my birthday, and we just went away, and it was amazing. So we had a lot of great shots. So they'll be coming in possibly right after this month pass by, but it'll look like it's being done like right there and then.
Right.
And that right there, two things that I like about that. One, like you said, it gives you time to do the things that make you money.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you're running multiple businesses, if you have a family, if you just want to have time for your own, I mean, it gives you time to do a lot of things. But the other thing is, it takes you away from getting stuck on Facebook, for example. It's happened to me, like I will probably glance through something and all of a sudden I get caught up and I want to glance through the next thing. And that's such a waste of time and energy.
Oh yeah.
It's a waste of time and energy. So automation on the social media aspect, it is so good. Not only financially good, but mindset good. You'll be
Oh,
unplugged from that stuff, and you'll
yeah.
think better.
Personally, I do not like social media at all. Like
Yeah.
I do not like going on Facebook. I do not
Yeah.
like Snapchatting or
Yeah.
Instagramming. The
Yeah.
only thing that I can say that I love doing are YouTube videos.
YouTube.
Like that's my social platform.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and, and so, doing YouTube videos and so forth, like that really like gets me. Like I
Yeah.
love doing that. But all the other stuff is such an aggravation to me.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel like nervous and anxious inside the
Mm.
second that I get on. And
Wow.
I get on to like Facebook and so forth for business purposes mainly,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or to quickly send a message to someone. And actually now I have the Messenger app
Yep.
on my computer,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't even need to go on Facebook anymore. Like if you and
Yep.
I are texting, I don't have to go to
Yep.
Facebook, and that's
Yep.
totally cool with me.
Yep.
But the
Yep.
second that I got on Facebook and I have to scroll or anything, no,
Yeah,
I
it'll
just
it'll
don't like
drag
it.
you in. Absolutely, it'll drag you in. So I think so. You mentioned a couple of platforms, by the way. Hootsuite, I've
Yep.
used, I've done. Meet Edgar, I think you're gonna post that about that. That's a new
Yep.
one for me too. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah.
And there's, I mean, there are so many. This is something that You need to decide what you want to use. There's
Oh yeah.
totally a lot. All you got to do is just automation, social media automation, and I'm sure you'll come up with a whole bunch of apps. And they're always getting better and better.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
So,
there's probably, 50 apps that,
yeah,
that can help you with social
yeah,
media marketing and automation. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah. But,
No,
there's,
absolutely.
there's other things, besides just social, like, anything that goes to social. So like, let's say you do a blog post. Let's say you're a blogger, right?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
can actually implement website action automation so
Hmm.
that when you finish a blog post, the second that you hit post, it automatically goes out to social media and so forth.
Hmm.
And that's like brilliant to me.
Yeah.
Uh, if I do a blog post and I hit post and I don't then have to go over to Facebook and all that stuff to put it there,
Yeah.
I mean, even
Yeah.
better. I don't
Yeah.
have to waste my time on that nonsense.
Right, right, right. Yeah, it gives us time to be and do things that again, like they make sense. They make sense.
Yeah.
You know. So what else? What else besides social media automation? Because oh well, first of all, before we move on, just so everyone knows, I mean, you get to choose what platform. My recommendation is don't try to do all of it at one time. I mean, Karma, you just said you like YouTube, so you're gonna be in there. You're gonna put your best into that.
Yep.
Don't try to do I got caught up on that a few years ago, and dude, that's stressful. That was
It,
like you mentioned, that was like this.
yeah. I mean, you can do it all. You can be on every single platform
Yeah.
as long as you only install it into one thing. Like let's say
Right.
Buffer or something
Automation.
like that,
Right.
or
Right.
Hootsuite that can deliver it to Twitter, that can deliver it to
Right.
Facebook, that can deliver it to
Right.
all these other platforms.
Right.
That's cool.
That's
Or
cool.
if you have a social media marketing team.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You said hire somebody, of course.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm a big believer in delegating.
Absolutely.
Maybe I get that from being a parent, because in my idea, children are just slaves. And by the way, I'm completely joking. Uh, no, but seriously, like, my kids do chores around the house and everything.
Yeah.
My daughter will sweep the floors. We have a bird, and the bird is a very messy bird. Um,
We
and,
have one too.
and now its wings have grown in from being clipped when we got him, and now he's flying all over the place, making messes everywhere. My daughter will sweep the floor,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's totally cool. So maybe it comes from that, but I really enjoy delegation.
Yeah.
And if I can't automate it, or if it can be automated, I will find out if I can delegate the
Delegate it.
automation
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if I
Cool.
don't have to automate it, I'm not going to.
That's right.
I'll have
That's
someone
right.
else automate it. Yeah.
That's right. That's funny you
So,
said that, man. I was just kind of dropping the hints already to my girl, in regards to the Kartra.
mhm.
You know how simple it is that they give us the beginning access of putting it together, doing it for us, a whole campaign.
Yep.
I was showing her. I was just kind of clicking. I said, "Look how easy this is." Click. I said, "And you see this percentage? Look, I just follow the instructions. Done, done, done."
Yeah.
I said, how cool would it be if you could actually like do something like this and get paid? She's like, "I can get paid?"
Yeah.
Automation, baby, automation,
Yeah.
or delegation and automation.
Yeah. My two favorite things: automation and delegation. Yeah. But
So,
there's so many different things that you can automate. I mean, you can automate different you can integrate different softwares and so
yeah,
forth,
yeah,
and
yeah,
automate different processes. Like I use IFTTT, which is if this then that.
yep, yep.
And I also use Zapier.
Oh, not Sapier? Are you sure it's not Sapier,
It is
dude?
Zapier. All right, not Zapier. It is Zapier. They are called
I'm
Zap.
gonna Sapier.
And yeah, no.
Sapier.
And like let's say someone purchases something, all right, and maybe it's not even an initial payment. Maybe it's a reoccurring payment,
Mhm.
whatever. If I want, I can have it send a text right to my phone.
Mhm. Yep.
And you know, I use Zapier for that.
Yep.
And matter of fact, I think I just I think I just got one. Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
No way. You just got one.
New
Good
money.
timing.
New money.
Good timing, man.
I swear to you, I did not plan that.
That was good.
But yeah, you know, I use Zapier so that, you know, any collections that, you know, come in, boom, I get notified immediately because I like money. I like my money. And, you know, the second that I get any money, even if it, like that one was only a $67 payment, right? And so that, you know, boom, it gets sent to my phone and I know about it, you know.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, all that's going into my Google Sheets. It's going into my you know, different reporting stuff because I use Zapier for everything, you know.
Right.
And if Zapier can't do it, then IFTTT probably can. And for me personally, if I can't, this is just a me thing, but if I can't use Zapier or IFTTT, then I don't use the software.
Yeah.
If there's a software that's out there that, you know, I want to use, and it does not integrate with one of the two, I do not use it. I'll find an alternative.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that before, and I was very excited to hear that Kartra actually had that one.
It's
very, very good that they have that.
Yep. I use so many Zaps. It's insane.
You know what? Something that I like to use for Zapier. What?
Zapier. Think
Zapier.
Zap. I'm gonna zap.
Zap. It's when networking. It was really cool. I actually got this idea from Joe. We met him at the event about a year ago or so. His brother Dan and Joel. But I got the idea because one day we were talking. We were doing the FaceTime or something, and we're just discussing what we use, the tools. And we talked about that, and I'm like, so what do you think you're gonna use this for? Because I was telling everybody that I was so excited that Zapier is here, and look what you can do, and we're like, you know what? Meeting people. It's like, how are we gonna do that? So you meet somebody, and we have it all hooked up to where you enter the information, and that immediately will actually drop it into our contacts. It'll also immediately send them an email, and then it'll put them in an Excel sheet as a person that you met, like a network. And then their email address will be added to that as well. And there's a follow-up email also.
Yep.
All that just by just a click, really just getting the information, blah, 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 and that's it. So the chances of not only meeting someone, but them realizing that, man, you actually put in the effort to follow up, go up through the roof, and you haven't but done taking the information.
Yeah, that's really it. Cool.
I'm gonna don't tell my secret, okay? But anyway,
dude, automations are brilliant. Automating sales tracking, like I was just talking about. I'm tracking all my sales, and it's giving me notifications and so forth. All of that stuff is absolutely brilliant. You do one little thing, and it triggers all these other things that happen. I mean, to me, that's like we're living in the future, man.
No, of course.
You couldn't do that even, 10 years ago.
No, we just need now more robots to do our stuff.
Yeah.
That's all.
I definitely need a team of robots.
Yeah.
That they can work 24/7, and I can sit back and be with my family and only work like an hour a month.
There you go.
I probably wouldn't, but
there was a movie called Multiplicity, I think it was.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, the dude got a whole bunch of himself, and yeah.
Why not?
Why not? We're in there.
So what are the things can be automated? Split testing.
Okay. Talk to us about that one, because see, that one right there is. So that was new when I heard split testing. Yeah, but it's so helpful in understanding who your people are, who's doing things. But yeah, tell us about how you do that.
So you know, split testing is just testing one particular thing against another and finding out which one responds better. So
Yes.
it could be maybe a headline on a landing page,
Yes.
and you know, it'll bring up that landing page however often you want. Maybe it's 50% of the time, maybe it's only 20% of the time,
Yeah.
you know, and so forth. And it'll find out
Yeah.
which responds better, which one gets more opt-ins, or which one gets more purchases, and
Yeah.
so forth. And you know, for me, like, you know, I like to look at the results,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I don't want to have to go in, look at it, and choose the winner. So like one of the things that I do with my split testing is I say, okay, let's say I get 1,000 different you know, people coming onto this page,
Mm-hmm.
and the majority, 90% or more,
Mm-hmm.
90% or higher, you know, opted in on this particular page with this
Mm-hmm.
particular headline. I'll have my system automatically choose that one as the
Yeah.
winner, and
Yeah.
that one from that point on will be the one that's being shown until I go in, look at the results, see what, you know, maybe why the other one won out, and then try another split
Another
test.
split test.
And
Yeah.
I'm doing that with everything. My
Yeah.
emails that
You
go
can
out,
do it with the email messages. Absolutely. You
dude.
can do it with Facebook advertising now.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's, you know what? There was a prospect of mine. I just had as a matter of fact, I believe he'll become a client now because he just texted me today. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to get with you again. I'm like, cool. But last week, right, he showed me that he's got this agency or this person in an agency here locally, and they did a Facebook advertisement. And so I went and looked it up, and sure enough, I saw it, and I'm like, okay, that's good. I said, but where's the other ones? You know, and he's like, no, it's only one. I'm like, well, how are you? You know, I think you should have another one because you need to compare which one is going to work better. I said, look at this picture. It makes me feel like I'm about to go get a massage, but maybe this one over here could be something better with a better wording. So anyway, I started talking to him about you need to split test this.
Yeah.
Because his question was this. He's like, Eddie, do you think that we need to make changes to the wording? I said, well, I don't know, because I have to test it with something else, and that's how we all start. That's how it all started. I'm like, do you have another one? Let's see. No. I'm like, oh yeah. You know, so if they're good, I said, if they're a good agency, they'll do that. And he's like, well, it's been months. I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe not. Because you got to do that for everything. And I think it's so important. And that is something that I have learned. You know, it has helped me. Colors. You can split text colors, pictures, wording, the videos.
Anything.
I mean, yeah. But it's helpful though, because it makes me look at the numbers and say, okay, this they click more here, or this one they clicked through, but you know, or that one they didn't click through, but they saw it a lot. You know, it's so important. It's so important to do that. Split testing. Split.
Yeah, and I try to split test everything because you don't know what can be better.
No.
When you put, you know, you could think, you know, you write a sales letter or a blog post or something, and you could think this is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
You know, greatest thing ever. And no one likes it. No one buys. And you're sitting there going, but why didn't they buy? Well, forget wondering why. Split test, you know, your headline, split test your call to action, your offer, you know, split test the button colors. And really, I don't really, you know, worry too much about the coloring of my buttons. And that's only because I split tested enough that I kept always getting the exact same results.
Yeah.
So now I you know, for the most part, I don't split test stuff like that, but headlines, sub headlines, my offer, my call to action, my Facebook advertisings, you know, I'll do my headlines, my text, my images, you know, videos against images, like all these different, you know, tests I'm doing because I want to find the absolute thing that works the best that you know, produces much more revenue in my business than anything.
Yep. And everything could be automated because
Absolutely.
you can have information go into Excel sheet. The Excel sheet will give someone who you have hired, right, delegated this stuff, and they can actually find out and figure out, okay, we'll use this one. But man, automation, you know what? Talking to you about this stuff, man, really, automation isn't everything. I'm sure that if you had the option to automate going to the bathroom, I'm sure you would do it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the only reason I haven't automated that is because it's going to require a little bit of surgery and tube hoses and stuff coming out of my body, which
Yeah.
I'm sure my wife will not think is sexy. So
there will be all these hoses going in and out.
No. And, you know, if seriously, absolutely everything I possibly can, I try to automate. You know, whether it be landing page automation, you know, where, you know, I create templates and so forth, so I don't have to redo everything again, or invoicing, like, you know, any type of invoice, because I do work with companies and so forth, you know, and my private client group that, you know, all the invoices and everything are sent automatically. I don't have to deal with that. You know, all my content delivery, you know, all of that's, you know, we didn't even talk about content delivery.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's a big one. Huge.
You know, and it's not just, you know, oh, I have a course that I'm selling and it drips out the content. No, I'm talking about, like, you can batch upload 20 videos to YouTube and have them come out on separate days.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to go back in and, you know, do it all. And, you know, every single day you want to upload. No, you just do it once, and for the next month, boop, you know, or, you know, if you install 20 and you only, you know, put out one a week, that's 20 weeks that you don't have to do anything.
That's right.
You know,
that's right. Yeah. There's automation for that, for the blog posting too. Like if you use WordPress, there's things that you can add to it, plugins to help you with that too. I mean, content, I think that's a given, right? I mean, we started with email marketing, and I think content is included within that because you can also automate the process of delivery as well. You know, the whole delivery process. You can have a physical book and automate it. Like literally, there's companies. I can't remember right now the company, but there's companies that they'll create the book for you,
like disc.com and so forth. Yeah,
there you go. That's one. And they'll create it. Book Patches, another one. You know, they'll create it. You know, send it.
You know, like I have a newsletter. You know, the 𝐶𝐭 Inner Circle. That every single month I put out a newsletter, a physical newsletter that you can hold in your hand. You know, like this one. Yeah. And this isn't mine. This is Frank's. You know, Frank Kern, our mentor, and you know, that goes out no matter what. So you know, all I do, I write my newsletter. And you know, I put together the titling and the cover and so forth, and I send one little email, and you know, for that entire month, it goes out to every single person. I don't have to worry about the shipping. I don't have to worry about the printing or anything like that. I just send, I do my work. I send it out. You know, I send one email and every single one of my customers gets it to their door.
There you go. That's it. That's it. That's automation, baby. That's it. Man, I mean, it's everything. It's everything and it's everywhere. The content by itself, by the way, so because when I think of content, it's almost like, you know how you were talking about segmentation, that you can actually send different pieces of content to, well, different groups of people as well. Yeah. Another thing that I like is when you send reports or digital information, right? Yep. There's Amazon S3, right? That we just, well, Kartra has it already, but even before Kartra, you can actually get into that and have all your information uploaded to the server. and
Yep.
there was a link to it, automatically people will get it. So man, it's just automation
There's
rocks,
just so
man.
many things, like in my
Yeah,
personal life,
rocks.
I automate, a lot of my financial stuff, like in the morning time. So this is the level of automation. So, uh, I've got tons of different bank accounts, in multiple different banks across the country. And I use a system that draws in every single bit of financial data that I have on all of my accounts, all my spending, all of my incoming, my income coming in and everything. It automatically, puts it into a certain program that'll print off a report, and it will be sitting on my printer in the morning time. At 8 a.m., it just starts printing. I don't even need to do anything. I
Nice.
don't even need to hit print.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
morning time, 8 a.m., that printer goes off and it starts printing out my report for that morning. For that day.
Wow.
So I can go over every little bit of my financial statement.
Wow. That's awesome, dude. That is ultimate automation right there.
Yeah.
What
It,
what do you think though, when that happens to you, like when you gather all the information, did you start it like that, or was there a point that you started with something simple like Excel sheets or things like that?
Yeah,
Because
of course. A lot of times you have to start simple.
right,
You just use Zapier and send it
right,
to Google Docs, or
yeah,
Google Sheets or something like
Google
that.
Sheets, right, right.
Um,
Use
what
formulas,
Yeah. And what I did, I went above and beyond because I love automation so much. I actually hired a programmer, my own programmer,
okay,
to build certain systems for me.
nice,
And,
okay,
it's cost a lot of money,
sure,
but in the end, it saved me 100 times more,
that's right,
because I don't have to worry about those things anymore.
yeah,
And like the system that pulls in from all the different banks that I have and puts together a financial statement and report for me, like that was a custom built software.
nice,
and
wow,
and so I don't have to do anything like that. Like I don't, there's probably something like that now on the market, but
hmm,
mine was custom built
nice,
for
wow,
me.
yeah,
But you know start simple
yeah,
and just build from there. But you need to look at you know everything that you do. And if you do it more than once and you're going to be able to do it again, or that you're going to have to do it again, you need to find a way to either automate it
yeah,
or delegate it, or
okay,
delegate the automation even,
mhm,
whether it be you have your spouse do it or whatever. All right.
mhm.
You need to find a way to get it off your plate. That way it leaves room and time for the much more important things that need to be done.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
especially events. Woo woo.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. One part of automation, is delegation. And I'm putting on an event in May, big event, and I'm not setting up anything. I'm hiring people to do it for me. They're gonna find
Okay.
they're getting the booking, the location. They're doing all the camera work. They're setting up, all the presentation stuff. The two big screens and all that hoopla. Uh, they're setting everything up. I'm not doing squat. I am gonna show up, do my presentation, teach, like it's absolutely insane. This is a 3-day workshop that I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
in May. But that's it. I'm just going to show up, do my thing, and leave.
There you go.
Everything else is taken care of.
Delegation automation.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So can't ask for anything more.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot, man. I think, I think, I think everybody gets the point.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are in your path in your business. You can start it. You can be starting right now, and there are ways. Thanks to technology, there are ways to automate your process. Um, Big, huge, major point here is knowing what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you don't know what you want, it doesn't even matter what all the other softwares and tech stuff that there's available. Second, it's really at the end is practically just deciding, making that decision to, what is the repetition, the one that you do the most.
Yep.
Looking at it, can you automate it? Can you delegate it? Or I like what you said, can you delegate the automation?
That's right. That's right.
That's a step further. You always get me to the step further, man.
Always got to push you.
Every time. And it's like, every time, darn it. It's like, what? Okay.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so it doesn't matter where you are, and it helps. Let's take advantage of what we have. The last piece of tech that I just saw, not that I saw, it's been out already, but it's from the iPhone. They actually created their own FTT thing.
Oh, nice.
They call it, I don't know, they call it some type of for the Siri thing, but it's really cool. I was just looking at it last night because I haven't actually looked at it to use it. But what we're talking about, that's actually one of the things that it does, automate things, So it's everywhere, no excuse. And I think the major part is that you need to know what you want,
Yeah. And last thing I'll pretty much say about it, because we've pretty much stomped this horse. But automation is not a set it and forget it type thing. All right. But many people think, and I did for a long time, that, I set it up once and I never have to think about it again. That's not necessarily the case, right? Automation is setting it up so that you don't have to do it, but it doesn't necessarily not require management.
Right.
It just, it's, you don't have to do as much, let's just say my split testing, right? Like I said earlier, I still go in and look at the numbers and stuff, from time to time. It's not that, I just, I do it once and I never have to touch it again. I still got to go back. I still have to look at the data and then come up with another split test to automate. All right. So it's not a one and done necessarily. Some things are, right? Some things are, but a lot of it requires a little bit of management. Let's just take this text that I got a few minutes ago with the notification that someone, their payment went through, right? That I got from Zapier. Well, if I move away from Kartra for whatever reason, guess what? I got to go back and redo the entire thing. So it's not just a one and done. I might have to go back and manage that.
Right.
And, you can use a spreadsheet. And so like I do, I use Google Sheets. I am completely addicted into, the Google ecosystem. I use Google Sheets, and I have a list of absolutely everything that I automate, and where it is, the link to where it's being automated, what it's being, what is being automated, and so forth, so that if anything breaks down, I know. I just look, okay, what is it's this item, and it's being done here. And then I go deal with that.
Right.
So, but again,
it's not a magic. It's not a magic. There's no magic pill, magic formula, magic nothing. And you have to still put the work. And you're right. Management is important, but another piece to that is understanding also the process. Because if you just, for example, for me, I can't just say, oh, deal with it, but not know what they're doing or why they're doing it. I can't do that. I have to be aware of how that works, so that way when I can't manage, okay, makes sense. But a lot of times I've made that mistake. I actually gave it away, and all of a sudden I lost time, money, effort, energy, because I didn't know really what was really happening. And when I came down to management, I trusted too much on the system, on the process. So
it's a learning process.
It's the work. The work is still there, but you're absolutely right. Cuts down on a lot of your time, unnecessary time that you can be using somewhere else.
I cannot tell you, and I don't even know. I honestly, I don't. And for a person that tracks everything, to tell you I don't know, it's crazy. But I could not even comprehend how much time my automations have saved me over the years.
Wow.
It's just insane.
I mean, it's insane that you just got me in like, my brain just exploded when you said you've got all that information coming in, and all of a sudden every morning it prints out. And it takes a special programmer to create something specific for you. But dude, that's awesome.
It's something that I don't have to go do. And before, like just with the financial statement, you know, and report like I have every morning, you know, that used to take me roughly 2 hours every single morning for me going to, you know, this account, looking at everything, putting everything into my spreadsheet. Okay, now I'm going to go to this particular account, jot everything down. And, you know, it was absolutely insane. It would literally take me 2 hours or more to do it every single day. And finally I was like, I got to do something about this. Like, I need it done.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not a very trusting person, so I don't want to delegate the process of, you know, having someone else go into my personal accounts to grab all this information. So I just hired a programmer and said, okay, this is what I need done. And how long did it take? It took probably about 6 months or so to actually create the software, you know, to do everything and get it the way that I wanted. But now it's done.
Yeah.
And now I save 2 hours every single day. And if I want, at a click of a button, it'll do it anytime that I want, you know? So, you know, right now it's 8 o'clock in the morning, just boom, it starts pumping it out. But I could set it up for 8 o'clock and maybe 6 o'clock at night. Maybe I want to do an evening, you know, study. What happened during the day?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's awesome. That's just awesome. So what else, man? Any other wisdom words for today?
Think outside the box. You know, to automate stuff, you really have to think out of the box. And, you know, I will tell you, a good majority of my automations came from my wife telling me something.
That's cool.
Know? Oh, why don't you automate that? Wait. Oh, I never even thought about that. You know,
that's cool.
You know, think out of the box, you know, get some help if you can, but try to automate every little aspect of your business, every little aspect of your personal life that you possibly can. Like, I automate, you know, my family gets, you know, Christmas cards and birthday cards and all that stuff automatically. I don't got to do anything.
Nice.
You know, I put in their birthday into the system. You know, I put in a couple of small little, you know, tweaks and personalizations here and there. Yeah. And every year they get cards. And I don't have to even think about it because I'm terrible with stuff like that. Absolutely terrible.
Everywhere.
But yeah, and you know, I only do it for my family. You know, for friends and so forth. I personally like to do it personally. Yeah. Simply because it's a little bit more personal. My family is it's just my family. They're gonna love whatever I get them.
Them every day.
But you know, like I had you know, a couple of my friends lives in California. That 1 year I decided I'm gonna send them a couple of tickets to Cirque du Soleil. Right. Well, I can't just automate that process.
Right.
It's something I just have to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Darn it.
I know, right? But it's a lot more personal. And I actually hand wrote, which it's not something that I do often. I like typing. I'm a very, very quick typer.
This is you right here.
Yeah. You know, I type like, I actually just did a test recently, 122 words a minute. Like that's insane. And, you know, I was always about 100, 105, but somehow I just got faster. Or maybe it was just that one test was just a fluke. But 122 words a minute. So I'm big into typing, but this thing I don't like. This is like a barbaric tool.
Hey, I gotta tell you all. So we were at the event together in Florida, Orlando, wherever that was. Here is Karma with the computer, right? So here I am. I'm ready to rock. He's ready to rock. We both pulled out our utility things to jot down notes. Yeah. He pulls out his computer laptop that he just got for that event. You know, and
I just bought it just for that event.
Yeah, just for that event.
Like, you know what? I need a new one.
Start typing, right? And here I go, and I pull out
a pen and a notepad.
Pen, notepad, and then my recorder. And you know, but it's funny to see that to hear you say that, because you were like that. You were like, and here I am. Okay, I got.
Yeah. It's like, you know, the second he stops talking, he is like, and I'm done.
Yeah. So that's yeah, that's you, man. That is so you.
On the first day that I talked to the guy that sat to the left of me, he had asked me like, how fast do you type?
Oh,
Because he saw me, he was like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and he saw me and he was like he asked, he's like, how fast do you type?
Man, that's awesome. Well, that's cool, man. So that's word. Yeah, out of the box. Thank you for that, because you just, I just didn't think about that, right? So delegate automation. That's something out of the box.
That's everything, man. So
Um,
that's all I got.
that's all you got,
You got anything else?
dude? No, that's all I got. I think we definitely hit this subject big time. And automation, it's what it's all about. Use technology. Let's get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So, Eddie, where can people find you online?
All right. They can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Eddie Sand Marketing.
Nice, nice. You can find me, Karma Senge, at karmasengemarketing.com or any social media platform, YouTube, Facebook, and so forth. And the handle is KLSPAF.
KLSPAF.
Yes.
Love it. You want to tell people what that means?
Nope.
Come on.
I will say that KLS is my initials, Karma Lojo Senge. But the PAF, I am not going to tell anybody until, you know what?
Let them guess it.
When I hit 1 million subscribers on my YouTube channel, then
Nice.
I will tell people what PAF stands for.
PAF, baby. PAF.
Yeah. So
that's awesome, man.
That's it for the show today, guys. So I appreciate you all listening in and viewing us on YouTube. And, you know, if you like this episode, please go ahead, hit like, share this with your friends, and don't forget to hit subscribe. So until next time, guys, take it easy.
All right. Later.
Peace.
Peace.